in the trunk.
We're going to be talking about plot and character development and story, like, roller coasters. Okay. So, what do you like in a plot? Like, what do you like to see? Betrayals.
I do like betrayals.
I love betrayals.
I depending on like the genre, I like a lot of world building though.
Okay, but like a lot of world building in book 1 or like a lot of world building in book 3 like Onyx Storm has done?
I honestly I like some of the betrayals to be like a lot of the world building I like to be interwoven with some of the characters' development.
Okay.
Because if you just throw the world building out at you and it's like waterfall, like you're trying to just drink all the information in the beginning and you're just like, I'm done.
Like, okay, I'm 32 chapters in and we're still world building.
Yeah, you're just swamped. You're done. You're bored. So I think I like when they weave the world building into the character's development. Like, oh, I'm from this place, and this is why I'm like this, because this is how it is over here, and blah, 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 blah.
Or like, oh, I'm going to this place, and then this has significance because it's, like, where the governors live or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that, too. I think... But I also, sometimes I do like I'm reading, I haven't finished it, When the Moon Hatched, and that's, like, a lot of world building in the beginning. And I want to know how the gods work. I want to know how the magic system works. I want to know how the villages work and the governing system works. But I don't want too much of it.
Yeah, because you're going to lose your main character.
Because then I'm going to be like, okay, by chapter 5, you've done all this world building, but then I don't know who the main character is.
You're like, so, who was the child in the beginning?
Wait, who is that character? What? So that in a plot I do like. Betrayals, I love betrayals. If I don't know who the traitor is, like if you say there's a traitor but it literally could be anybody because there's no clues of who it could be, like I love that. Like everybody seems normal, but then they're like, there's a traitor amongst us and it could be anybody.
You like the mystery of trying to find it out.
I'm like, okay, it could be like so and so, or it could be this guy, but then I always like when it's like not the character that you thought it was going to be.
See, I like having the story behind the betrayal.
That comes later though, usually.
Yeah, no, but I like seeing it from like their side of the story. Like, say like the character betrays them, right? And you're like, why would they do this? And like you have no clue because it's like, that's not that character, because like you just said, like you thought it was like this other character, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I like figuring out the why.
The why. Why would you betray this person? Like if you were helping them, but like why would you betray them?
Yeah.
Oh, I do like that. That kind of reminds me of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of the Songbird and Snake, and you still haven't watched that?
No.
It's one of my favorite movies. Like he's helping her, but then she betrays him and like leaves, and he's like, because he's gone crazy. And you're like really sad. It made me cry because you're like, I just want like a good love story ending. But you did, like, he went crazy and he becomes Snow. Like the guy, you haven't even seen it.
I watched Hunger Games #1 and that was it.
Yeah, so like the big like guy with white hair and he's like, my name is Snow. That's the character in The Ballad of the Songbird and Snake. So he like becomes really messed up. Because he's already messed up. What about lulls? Like a lot of stories, like our story kind of lulls in the middle. Like
I have a in-between relationship with lulls.
I don't really care about lulls. I feel like it's good. Like if there's like downtime, like you can't always be like boom, 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 boom. Because like I feel like you do need those times where they're like, they can just be like, oh, going to a spa, or like going to just the lunchroom and eating. Like that shows that they're human.
If you do have a lull, you do need to have like
you have to learn something new within that lull.
You have to learn something new and you have to have a goal.
True.
Like a goal they're achieving. Because if you don't, I'm going to lose interest.
I don't.
If they're just eating, and they're just talking, and it's
I actually
regular
enjoy
talk,
that.
and they're not revealing any new information.
Well,
like, if you're having a dinner and you're having a deep conversation that's going to reveal a lot about characters, I'm good with that lull. But if you're not revealing anything new to me, and it's just like a basic dinner conversation.
yeah, so it goes back to like in ACOTAR when they're just sitting and they're eating and they're like drinking their wine and they're having a conversation. Like that's kind of like a lull, but you're learning something new every single line. And I feel like that's a good motto to go off of. Like you have to learn something new every single line.
Yeah, but I also feel like you have to play it right enough so that you keep the goal of the regular book still in the background. Because if we get too deep into the lull, then I'm gonna lose interest personally. Because if I start to get to like repetitive or lulls where there's starting to do like basic things over and over, not much action happening, not much drama, then I'm gonna start getting bored.
I don't get bored, honestly.
I can get bored very
That's
easily.
probably why you don't like contemporary romances, because there's not like something really huge happening.
Yeah,
usually.
I need a big goal going on. Typically the save the world
like,
goal.
A lot of the contemporary romances are like Hallmark movies, like small town girl goes to big city, or big city girl goes to small town, or whatever. And I do like those. Like after you read like a really high paced fantasy book, and you're just hungover from that, and you need something to read, I've gone into reading contemporary romances because I'm like, I need like something to help me get over this.
Where they don't all like die.
Which is why I started reading Flawless by L.C. Silvers, because I was like, Onyx Storm was just emotionally ripped my heart out. I was so sad. So I had to start something that wasn't fantasy.
Yeah, no, I need like a save the world driving goal.
You
and
might
not
like
the
Brandon Sanderson.
Graduate from high school. A goal.
But you like the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, but I still haven't.
It's not contemporary though.
I haven't finished the originals. I haven't even started Legacy, and I kind of drug myself through the end of the Vampire Diaries.
I'm out of my vampire era.
I'm also out of my vampire era.
I do not like vampires. Give me fae, elves, dragons, gods, and I'm good.
Wars.
War. Like, if there's not a big war, then I don't want it. In a fantasy
Like,
book.
for real, like, you need a giant, colossal event going on that you need to stop.
Yeah.
To save the world. Otherwise, like, if you're in a fantasy world and you're like, I'm just trying to find my husband.
No. But I do
like,
get that.
I
do, because that goes with the, I'm trying to find my brother, I'm trying to find my father.
Yeah, no, but
a lot goes into fantasy books, and I just hit my microphone, I'm so sorry. I like that. I like that shows that they're human and that they care, because a lot of what I've been seeing recently is in fantasy books is like, oh, I'm a warrior, and it's like, that's great, but I want to see like
the human
a
part.
family. Like, there's so many times where they don't have a family, and it's like the mom's dead, the dad's dead, the siblings are all dead, you're just left alone. Like, why can't we have a family that's together? And like,
what I mean is like taking the contemporary setting of like, I'm just going to high school, and then throwing it into like a fantasy novel.
That's not a fantasy.
I can't with that. Like, I need something serious going on. if you're gonna start out in a book, start me a war halfway through.
You might like Brandon Sanderson. His is like really high paced fantasy and stuff.
Maybe.
I've never read any of it. I have one of his books. Someone left the book at work, so I stole it. I didn't steal it. I took it. It was just there.
It was abandoned, so it just called to my library.
It was just there. Nobody came back for it, so like, why? So I have one. I don't remember. It might be Mistborn, but I actually don't remember. It might be start with an A too, but I don't remember which one it is personally. But they're like the Lord of the Rings. Like, there are like, I've never read the book, but in the movie there's like quiet times, which might be lulls in the book. But then again, movies always take the most important parts of the book and put it in to the show.
And just cut out the rest.
Yeah. Like them eating bread. And then like I don't even like remember what the bread is that fills up.
Lembas bread.
Yeah, that. Like that, I feel like that's could have been cut.
Like the scene
But that was probably,
where
like,
where
alone.
like Mary and Pippin are talking about how many lambus breads they're talking about they've eaten.
How many?
And
5.
then like Legolas is like one bite of lambus bread can feed a man for 3 weeks. And then Pippin turns to Mary and he's like, how much did you eat? And then he goes 3.
No, yes, I do like that. But I want to see more books, like Narnia and like Outlander, like where they get transported to another, like a fantasy world. Like they're normal people and they get transported to
I do like that
world.
trope.
Like Alice in Wonderland, like she falls through the rabbit hole. And she's in
Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorites, actually.
I love Alice in Wonderland.
For a multitude of reasons, but mainly because one of its underlining factors is actually exploring the psychology.
Crazy, yeah.
Alice, essentially is diagnosed with, I think, schizophrenia. And so Alice in Wonderland is exploring what someone with schizophrenia sees, supposedly, is what I've heard. So, like...
I mean, I'm taking psychology, and we're learning psychology.
I'm also taking psychology.
Well, I'm doing abnormal behaviors, so, like, schizophrenia is, I think, our first thing that we're doing this semester. But, that's interesting. I'll have to, like...
Yeah, so, like, how she sees the Mad Hatter and the rabbit with the clock, and how he's always, like, hopping, and there's always these moving
so
parts.
That's, like,
the caterpillar, like, they're all personifying, like, mental disorders, and it's all in her head. And it's literally exploring the psychology of someone with schizophrenia through
that makes
like
me wonder if the author, I don't remember who
through like a fantasy type,
had schizophrenia.
Yeah, it's why like you think Alice in Wonderland is like, oh, it's such a child happy little book,
but it's not. There's like a deeper.
If you look into it, which is why I like Alice in Wonderland, and the characters are so well done in Alice in Wonderland. I like them.
I really like Alice in Wonderland.
My personal favorite is like the Mad Hatter and the Cheshire Cat. Like you cannot beat Chess. Like the Cheshire Cat is so great.
But I also feel like we only have, like, I want to see books more like that, like popular books. Like Narnia, open a wardrobe. And I thought that was so cool, like, as a kid. And then I read Outlander, and then it's, like, transported through the stones.
Well, most of those kind of books, they don't focus on romance.
No,
Which
they
is,
don't.
I think what makes them magical. Like, think of Alice in Wonderland. She's, like, what, 11?
I don't know.
So you're simply exploring the world through a child's eyes.
Yeah.
So reading as an adult, you're like, man, I'm missing my childhood.
And then, like, reading, like, Narnia as an adult, that's, like, they're children, so then they're, like, going, and then they're, like, kings and queens, and then they like, time is different in that world than it is in the human world, because you remember Lucy goes, and she's there for hours, and she's been gone for hours, but in the human world, like, the regular world, she's only been gone for 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And they make fun of her for that until they go themselves. And then they, like, leave for years and years and years, and they come back, and Prince Caspian is the, like, is it the Tamars or something?
I don't know. I thought it was the P somethings.
I don't even know, but they are there ruling Narnia, and they're, like, evil again. And then they leave, and then they come back when they're in their 20s, and World War II's happening, or...
Only Lucy comes back.
No, because Edmund and Lucy come back in the Dawn Treader.
Not Edmund and Lucy. It's Lucy and Eustace.
Oh, it is Eustace. No, but Edmund does go back. Yes, he does, because he has that whole part in the cave with Prince Caspian.
Oh, I forgot about Edmund. He is there, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Eustace.
And then there's the rest of the books that
I don't
remember
in the end, because
much.
Susan started, like, not believing, like, in Santa Claus, and
no, she stopped believing in Narnia.
She stopped believing in
after the
Narnia.
last battle.
She's the one that didn't die in the train wreck. Tragic.
Yeah, but, like, what's great about
story
Narnia and the older authors like C.S. Lewis and Tolkien is their worlds weren't revolved around romance.
True.
It wasn't centered around.
No, but I think
this is the love interest, and we're gonna follow this love story.
Part of me feels like we should start writing fantasy books, like, just as fantasy, and if the romance comes along, that comes along, because, like, obviously characters start to develop, and then you're like, oh, okay, like, I see this, like, the characters start to write themselves. So, like, I feel like we need more of that, but that's just my opinion.
I can agree with that.
Because we're doing a lot of, oh, she's assassin, she's killing this person or something, and training arcs and that's like popular, but I think we need to like shift a little bit.
Yeah, it's like training arcs with a hot guy.
Well, yeah,
and then they end up together.
I don't mind that.
But
I like that.
I like that too, but like if you think about like a younger reader.
Yeah.
If all the popular books that are being recommended on TikTok
True,
are like
on book talk, yeah.
training vibes with hot guy with a lot of spicy scenes, think about putting that in the
and like the only kid
in the hands
books,
of a 12-year-old.
And the 12-year-olds, like they get the younger kids get them in their own hands. So like that's like okay. And the only like kid books that are out there are like with magic are like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Magic Treehouse. That's a little bit. That's like 5th grade. Alice in Wonderland.
Narnia.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a little too graphic, I would think, for a kid.
Yeah, it's on the higher end of kid.
No, I don't think so.
I would say teenager.
I would say it's like because there's a lot of gore.
Yeah, but
so I'm like
some kids these days can handle gore. I'm worried about like for kid wise is like the spicier scenes in a lot of modern fantasies.
Yeah, so I think that we need to write more
all the book talk girls
like,
are like writing and reading.
I think that we need to write more fantasy books that are like there needs to be somebody who writes fantasy books for kids that are like fun. Like we have Percy Jackson. That's fun.
Rick Riordan's a good one who writes a lot of magic.
That's fun. I read Percy Jackson.
He also has his Egyptian series.
Yeah, that's fun. But I just that's my
I think we got off topic though.
But I do like the training arcs. In small dosages because obviously like she's not going to know how to punch somebody if she's like a normal
person unless you develop that already
like
she comes from
like,
this background.
Like Selena Sardathian is like an assassin, so she knows how to punch somebody, she knows how to take somebody out, like, she knows all of that stuff, but then she also goes and trains at the sand temple, the Doom temple or something.
It was punishment, but yes,
but she still went and trained and she improved and like that.
What's great about Selena is she is fully aware she can always grow. Yeah. She's not like, she is a bit thrown in glass, like I'm better than you, I don't need to work. But she is fully aware of I can always improve, I can always get better with my skills. Yeah. And that is a good mentality to have in that kind of book.
Yeah, because then it's like when she does meet somebody who's better, then it's like, oh, he's better than me, but I need to be like better.
I can learn. Learning experience.
I can learn how to do this. That's what I think.
Yeah. Plot-wise, the training arcs are good turning points. I think it's a good transition. I like it. Using the training arc is a good transition from like early book to mid book. In the plot-wise. True. Early book to mid book, or like she's having a training arc, but then like the battle is like coming, and so she doesn't get all her training in. Yeah. Like I do like that transition from mid book to end book is what you're thinking there.
Well, anywhere like. It could be like a battle in the middle.
Transition is the point.
It could be like like Nesta. I don't know what part you're in that book, but she trains with Cassian because she's a drunk. Yeah. So she's learning and she doesn't know how to do that before because she would just sit in her like beautiful dresses and be like, I'm not going to cut the wood even though I'm the oldest. But then she has like this character arc. Yeah. Training, and I think it's really good. That's my favorite. One of my favorite books is the Silver Flame.
And you even see them in Alice in Wonderland. Alice had a training arc.
True.
So like it's a common thing.
It is really common.
Like it's a story point that's like as old as time. The training arc.
I'm trying to think of anything else that's in the training arcs that like might be different. I can't think of anything. But I will say I don't like when the character is like, oh, he's so hot.
Pinning for the instructor.
Yeah, like you can swoon over, but I don't need a whole page. Yeah. You can just be like, those are nice abs. And move on. I don't need a whole page of. Granted, I will probably write a whole page myself.
You're like Charles Dickens.
But I'm not going to, I'll cut half of it, most of it. Because I'm going to be like this, I already said that. I already said his abs are nice, his eyes are nice. I already said that. But I don't think that we need. I just lost my train of thought.
A whole page and to
Yeah.
swoon over your instructor.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is a trope.
It's a trope.
Not necessarily a trope for me. I mean, I'm good with it in the Nesta
I'm just gonna
Cassian.
fix your hair.
In the Nesta Cassian
It's bothering me. Sorry.
scenario,
Yeah.
I'm totally down for that trope.
I like that. Okay, but
because
like,
they knew each other before the training.
so
arc.
I was just watching Night Agent. I watched the entire season 1 in 2 days. It's 10 episodes. I was like a little addicted. And in the Night Agent, it's like it follows this FBI agent. He's not really like, he's part of the FBI, and he sits in the basement and answers the phone. That's like, it's called Night Action. That's like their agent. They're night agents. And and then like there's a call, and like the girl's aunt and uncle are dead, and so he has to go save her, and then they end up like liking each other, whatever. The whole season spans over 5 days. But then there's this other thing happening that came out of nowhere when I was watching it, and it was like the vice president's daughter, Maddie or whatever her name is, Maddie I think is her name, is like swooning over her professor, her art professor. And I'm like, I was watching it, I sent a video to one of my friends because she would find it funny, and I was like, where did this plot come from? Like, it was out of nowhere, and they're like making out in the art studio, and I'm like, oh, wait, did I miss something? And
Tying your plots is definitely
I
a
didn't
thing.
like it, and like in the end, he ended up was like supposed to be, he was just using her for something else, and I was like, I still like, I still don't like this. Like, what is happening? It was weird. It came out of nowhere. Like, I thought we were just following the story of Rose and Peter, and they're like running around and doing whatever, and then there's just like the vice president's daughter making out with her art professor. I'm like,
yeah, tying in your plot points
from?
is definitely something you have to be careful of.
It was just like out of nowhere, and then like he gets shot in the head, and I'm like, what? So that was like, it's really good, but I was really like, where did that plot come from? So, I mean, I suggest watching it. There's a lot of action, a lot of fighting, and like, it's really good. And I'm on season 2, but I'm a little slower getting through season 2 because the plot's just, it's like,
Not as good as the plot of season 1.
it's slower paced, and I'm just like, it's still good, but it's gonna take me a little bit because I'm always like, once they get together, I don't want it.
That's literally me, though. I did that with Bridgerton. The second that whatever the main Bridgerton girl in season 1 is, Daphne gets with the Duke, and she's like, "I'll marry you." I was like, "Yep, I'm done. I don't need any more of the season. I'm done at episode 6. I'm not finishing.
Listen,
We're gonna have a happy ending."
No, but they still hated each other.
I was like, I don't care. They're getting married.
So because she had been, there was a scandal.
Yeah.
And Anthony caught them.
Yes.
But I like the swooning. I like the longing looks. I like the yearning for the other character. I like but I don't need pages and pages. It's like just simple, like one line, one sentences, real quick. Because then you're like, oh. And then once they get together, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
It's one of those, the romance line is a plot point that you can weave in on an underline of your main plot point.
Yeah. And
it's like one of those things that you should be able to go back with a highlighter and highlight those lines that pull out that plot point.
But I do like when they get together, but they're not together. You know what I'm saying? So like they still hate each other, but they're like they've kissed once or something. Yeah. I love those
like
plots.
Xaden and Violet in the first couple chapters in Fourth Wing. After their first kiss.
After chapter 22.
After their first kiss, they're like, I still hate you.
That was literally chapter 22, and they didn't sleep together until chapter 27.
I
So
know.
literally, that was 5 chapters.
Yeah, but you still had that.
I know.
I still hate you.
I still hate you.
Like,
But they don't hate. I love when they don't get together right away, because then, like, all of, like, Iron Flame.
it kills the fun.
All of Iron Flame, they're like together, but not together. Like, they broke up, but they're together, but not together. And then Onyx Storm, they're like, not together, but together.
You're just there for the drama.
I was like, wait, what? I am there for the drama. Those are like, I love when they break up and they're like, I still love you though, and they're like broken up. I'm just
like, I broke up with you,
but
I still love you.
I love those things. Like they broke up and in Onyx Storm, or is it Onyx Storm in the beginning? She's like, we're not together, and he's like, no, that's Iron Flame. Iron Flame is when she's like, we're not together, and he's like mad about that.
No, that is something. She does say something very similar in Onyx Storm.
She does, but no, the specific thing that I'm thinking of is when they're like in her room during Iron Flame or something, and he's come back from Samara, the base training thing, and she's like talking about the scrolls or something, and he's like mad at her, and she's like, well, we're not together. And then he's like mad about that. it's like Zayden's jaw tightened
or something.
It's like his jaw feathered or
flexed.
Oh my god! It's like, yes, that is what I want. I need those giddy moments.
But in moderation and not in, like, overdosed, inappropriate siding. Like, if you know what I mean. Like,
no, I do, and I think that's probably why I like, Powerless, because there's so much banter. There's so much banter, and they're just, like, back and forth, and they have, like, the same argument, like, 4 times, and I'm like, I'm here for it. I am here for it. I love it.
I can't do the same argument over and over.
I love it. I'll sit there and I will eat that thing up.
If it's gonna be the same
I
argument,
might eat the book.
if it's gonna be the same argument, it has to have a slightly different twist on the same argument.
Well, for sure. Like, knife to the throat. Like, that's... Bro, give it to me. Like, them just, like, across the room, like, Zayden and Violet, like, having a mind thing. Argument.
Oh, I was totally there for the mind arguments, because you could totally see
and
it.
then, like, Rhiannon is like,
yeah,
I think they're arguing.
No, because you can find laughter in the facial expressions of the other characters. Because you'll get descriptions here and there of, like, her friends just kind of looking at each other like,
no, that's why I'm saying. And Rhiannon's like, I think they're arguing.
Yeah.
And then Garrett's like, they're not talking though.
Yeah.
Or something. It's like having a sister where you just have a whole conversation with your eyes, and you're just like, do you see what that person's wearing? Did you hear the outlandish, unhinged thing Dad just said?
Oh my god.
like, did you hear that? So it's like, I love that. I really do. But I also like when they have friends. Like, I don't like when they're, like, alone. Which is why I'm, like, sad for when Sam dies in, I think it's Throne of Glass.
Spoiler alert.
Throne of Glass?
Sam actually dies in Assassin's Blade.
Okay, I can't remember because I'm not done with Assassin's Blade yet.
His death is mentioned in Throne of Glass,
and I'm
because
like,
Throne of Glass takes place, like, 2 years after Assassin's Blade.
And I love him so much. I love him. I love Sam.
I love Sam, but, like, I went into Assassin's Blade also
which is crazy because there's not really much. You don't get much from him, and he's just like, he just cares about her, and he's like, who did this to you? You're like, I eat that up.
What you get is the territorial, but also caring.
Yeah.
And that
and then he's an assassin.
That together, and that childhood memories.
Yeah.
I like you.
And I'm just like, okay, but they haven't kissed yet, and where I'm at, and I'm like, I need you guys to kiss before you die. Like, please. But then I'm gonna be sad when he dies. I'm gonna cry, and I'm like, I don't even know anything about you. This is so sad.
It gets
love
worse.
Sam.
He's constantly mentioned in all the other books.
I hope I like Dorian or
Yeah.
or Cole as much.
Okay, I loved Cole.
Cool.
Like,
Yeah, you say shall.
I absolutely loved Cole in the first couple of books. And then
He just was not great.
and then an event happened and I was like, you can die now.
You can die. That's like Tamlin. Like, you like Tamlin. And then,
yeah.
and then you were like, I don't like Tamlin anymore.
Yeah.
I never liked Tamlin.
No, yeah,
I
no.
think that's the only one who didn't, out of us three, who didn't like Tamlin. I was like, why are you shoving your tongue down his throat? 3 chapters in, 5 chapters in. And then Rhysand is just like perfect.
Yeah, no, Shally, I loved him in the first like 2 or 3
It's
books.
Cole!
And then he does something and then I'm like, yeah, you can go die
But
now.
I still might like him.
And then,
because-
like,
listen, because Dane, you don't like Dane,
No.
but there's a line in Onyx Storm that I think you're gonna be like, I need this man.
No, currently where I'm at in Onyx Storm, Dane's on my good side right now.
I love Dane.
Dane is currently with me on a redemption arc.
Well, because listen,
He is,
you have to
he
think.
is making a comeback.
Good, because you have to think like he's 20 years old. He's 22.
He's making a
21.
comeback with me.
Like they're kids, dude. They're
Yeah.
not like, like think of it. You go across the parapet, okay? You have an immune disorder, which is what Violet has, and your best friend is like, you can't, like, don't, like, you shouldn't have done that. You're gonna die. You should go be safe here. Are you gonna hate him? Or are you gonna be like, I'm gonna do whatever I want? Yes, you're gonna say whatever you want, but the friend is still being a friend and going and being like,
yeah,
like. You do that. I do that with my friends. I'm like, you can't do that. You need to do this.
No, Dane's currently on a redemption arc with me. Okay? And I do hope him and Stallone get together.
Oh, I love that.
Like, the second I saw that line from Stallone, like the little snippet where she's like eyeing Dane, I was like,
You're like, I need this.
I'm like, hold up.
You're like, I didn't know I needed this.
I was like,
in my
I
life.
didn't know I needed this love line, but I need this love line.
No, right? Because you're like reading that, and she's like, and you're
Yeah.
like, and you're over there like, oh, wait, what? Wait.
Yeah, I was like, did I just read this right?
You read it back. No, but there's a line. I'm not gonna spoil anything because I don't know where you are, but it's like between Dane and Sloane, and I literally died. I giggled so I was like kicking my feet because I was like, I need this. What? I love it so much.
Yeah. No, but Cole.
But he's still not my favorite.
Cole does have a redemption arc in like book 5.
Cole.
He does get better again. Like, he sucks, he's good, then he sucks, and then it gets better. Plot development.
No, I like that when characters like are good and then they're bad and then they're worse and then they get better because you have to get worse to
Well,
get
with
better.
Cole,
so then they get worse and
he
then they
goes
get better.
through a lot, and his journey with his plot is very interesting.
Okay, well, don't spoil anything because I'm not there yet.
Oh, I'm not. I'm generalizing.
I'm not there yet. Did you do the tandem read or did you not?
No,
Lame.
I did not, because I actually didn't know it was a tandem read when I read it. Because I don't interact with other people. So-
You're not on Book Talk. I'm on
not.
Book Talk. I am on Book Talk like religiously every day. I'm like,
No, I binge read Empire of Storms in like one day. And then I turned around and started Tower of Dawn. And then it took me like 2 seconds.
I'm sorry. That book is longer than Onyx Storm.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for you to finish Onyx Storm
So
so I can have somebody to talk to about.
it was summer. I pulled it all nighter and I did not have to work.
Still waiting.
No, and then I turned around and I started Tower of Dawn, and I was like, oh, we're backtracking.
Okay. I get that. Okay. Fine. It's fine.
You can do the tandem read.
I'm
too.
going to do the tandem
Yeah.
read, and I'm going to get a little chart
I'm
that has the tandem read
I'm
thing
just
on
saying.
it. Because
There is a couple in Empire of Storms that if you don't like them, we're gonna have issues.
threatened. I feel threatened.
Because I love them and they're so cute, and they currently are having issues.
And you're there for it.
I am, but they need to fix it because I need them to be happy, and I need to finish my other books so I can get back to that last book so I can make sure they're happy because
Okay.
they're so cute. I can't spell the characters' names, otherwise it'll ruin the whole thing because you haven't met either one of them.
No, I'm still on Assassin's Blade, and Sam is still my favorite character.
He's great.
Selena, she's okay.
Yeah.
She's okay. She's okay. I really don't like. Oh, Angel was crazy. That came out of nowhere. She's like, the narrator that I'm like listening to. She does a southern accent. She's like, "Well, ain't that a who?" I'm like, what? But she was like evil, and there was no Briar Hill, and I was like, oh, the drama.
Ansel has so much drama.
And then Selena still let her go, and I was like, no, I would have put the arrow through her back.
Kaylin's like, forget being my friend. I'm gonna shoot you in the back.
No, you literally just tried to kill the guy that you were like, oh, this is great. And then the son died. I don't even know what his name was. He wasn't that important.
She still has Sam though.
I know, but Sam's gonna die.
She doesn't know that.
Yeah, but I know that. Does that not matter? No, but like, I'm so sad about that. I knew that going in.
I know, me too.
I was like, I don't even know who Sam is, but Sam dies. And I started reading it, and then Sam was like, the enemies to lovers thing, and I was like, no, I love
She
Sam.
was like, you just ripped my heart out the second you came in.
It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that.
It's about plot. That's all we have to say about plot.
And character development.
Yeah.
You have a great hair right here.
Uh-huh. You're stressing me out.
I'm stressing you out with what?
I don't know. But that's the cost of gray hairs.
I don't think I'm stressing you out, hon. I think your schoolwork is stressing you out.
I don't think so.
Oh, so how am I stressing you out, dude?
Why are you plucking through my hair?
Because I'm gonna pluck your gray hair.
Your natural highlights.
I'm plucking it.
Oh, of course you are.
It's my job. Are you ready?
It doesn't look gray to me.
Oh, no, it's gray. It's gray. Right.
So it's graying at the top.
Yeah, it's coming out of your hair. And then, like, right here it changes.
Oh. I'm violeting.
You're violeting! Gray hair. See, that's gray, dude. In the camera, it's gray.
Violeting.
It's gray. But then it's like,
I'm violeting.
no, it's your lifeline. We should just cut it.
Okay.
No, yeah. It was just there
Okay.
in your hair.
Okay.
You should hold on to it.
Why would I hold on to this? Now you let the cold air in.
I had to get rid of your hair. Oh, there's another one right there. I'm not gonna pluck that one though.
That one's orange.
No, it's literally gray, dude. This one.
That one's orange.
It's literally gray.
That one's orange.
It's gray.
You sure you're not seeing
I'm
Steve's
sure.
cat hair?
That was gray. That hair was gray. You're gonna be like our great grandmother going gray at 17, except you're not 17. Gray at 19.
Well, we'll blame it on the fam.
Not me. I'm not stressful. I don't stress anybody out.
Mm.
Do you have anything other to add?
I don't think so. Thanks for joining us.
Kelly, that's so. Say it again.
And thanks for joining us.
Say it again.
I don't know.
Like and subscribe and comment, please. Thank you.
There you go. There's
And
the
thanks for
ending
joining
warning.
us. We have lots of fun with this.
Yes, we do.